My dearest soul, you're about to uncover a truth that can change everything. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. I want you to picture your life as a road. On it, you've walked with courage and faith, overcoming hurdles, celebrating wins, and enduring the long stretches of monotony. But today, I've brought you to a fork in the road. Not a fork in external paths, like a change of city or job, but one far deeper and more pivotal. A fork in your perception, and how you live and how you are. On one side is the path you know well. It's the road of habit, reaction, and survival. It's where your emotions are dictated by the day's circumstances, where your peace is held hostage by good news, and your anxiety is fed by bad. It's the road where you struggle with your own strength, carrying the weight of your worries and past memories. On the other side, there's a path you might have glimpsed, but never fully dared to take. It's the path of intentional choice, active faith, and abundant life. It's the road where your peace doesn't depend on what happens around you, but on who dwells within you. It's the path where you learn to hand over your burdens and walk with a lightness the world can't grasp. What I'm about to show you next can transform your life, because today I've come to give you not just the map to this new path, but the key that opens its gate. And the key, my child, is a single, powerful choice you can make right now. This choice has the power to redefine your present, redeem your past, and revolutionize your future. I'm not talking about a complex decision, but the most fundamental choice of your existence. The choice to see your life no longer through the limited lens of your circumstances, but through the infinite lens of my truth and my love for you. Before we continue this message, type this word of faith in the comments. I am guided by God's love and wisdom. By doing this, you're taking your first conscious step on this new path. You're declaring your intention to be guided by my light and no longer by the shadows of doubt and fear. Now, continuing the message, understand that your life until today wasn't a mistake. The road of habit taught you, strengthened you, and brought you to this exact point of decision. But it's not your destination. It was your preparation. Today, I invite you to graduate, to leave the road of survival and enter the highway of grace, peace, and purpose. My precious soul, let's look honestly at the road of habit, the one you've been traveling. I understand it. It's familiar. It operates on autopilot. On it, you learn to be strong, self-sufficient. You learn to worry as a way to care, to control as a way to protect, to dwell on the past as a way to learn. But look at the cost. Look at the weariness in your soul. Look at the peace that's so fleeting, at the joy that always seems to depend on something external. On this road, you carry a heavy backpack. Inside are the stones of every mistake you've made and refuse to forgive. There are the shards of glass from every time your heart was broken. There's the dead weight of every worry about the future, every what if that haunts you in the early hours. And you walk bent under this weight, thinking this is simply life. It's not. This is life under the law of self-effort, under the rule of fear. On this road, you trust me, yes, but conditionally. You hand over the things that are too big for you, but try to keep control over the rest. You ask me for help, but keep trying to solve everything with your own hands. It's an exhausting dance of give and take, of trusting and doubting. What stops you from trusting me completely is the subtle belief that, in the end, everything depends on you. That if you don't worry, no one else will. That if you don't maintain control, everything will fall apart. And that belief, my child, is the most fundamental lie that has kept you captive. Now, before we continue this message, type in the comments, I trust the Lord. May this not just be a phrase, but your declaration of surrender. The moment you, in your heart, decide to release the straps of this heavy backpack and let it drop to the ground, feel the relief. Feel the lightness on your shoulders. If this message touched your heart and you wish to support this mission, click thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Continuing, the road of habit kept you safe in your comfort zone, but also prevented you from soaring. It taught you to survive, but disabled you from the art of truly living. The invitation I extend to you today is to leave this road, not with guilt, but with gratitude for the lessons learned, and to take your first step with faith on the unknown but glorious path of complete trust. My blessed soul, what is this new path like? the path of intentional choice. Imagine your life is an ocean. On the old path, you were like a small boat adrift, tossed up and down by every wave of circumstance. Your mood, your peace, everything depended on the day's weather. On this new path, you're no longer in the boat. You're in the lighthouse, built upon the unshakable rock that I am. From the lighthouse, you still see the waves, you still see the storm, but you're no longer affected by it. You're in a place of safety, stability, with an elevated perspective. You can observe the storm calmly, knowing it will pass, and that your foundation is secure. Making the choice to trust me is your daily decision to ascend to the lighthouse. It's the act of, when the wave of bad news comes, instead of letting panic sweep you away, the boat's reaction, you deliberately pause, breathe, and choose to see the situation from my perspective, the lighthouse's view. It's asking, Father, what are you doing in this situation? What is your truth about this? And then you hear my voice, which always says, I am with you, I am in control, and I will turn this for good. The circumstance hasn't changed, but your position in relation to it has changed completely, and that changes everything. I, your God, am sending you a special sign. The sign you've been waiting for is in this verse, John 16:33, which says, I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. My promise isn't the absence of troubles, waves, but the presence of my peace and my victory over them. Type in the comments, I receive this message, and I am blessed. And send love and protection to the person you love, declaring that God's peace is their anchor amidst any storm. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a thanks and help spread this message of light. Before continuing, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now. By subscribing, you'll receive your daily celestial weather forecast, reminding you to stay in the lighthouse. Now, continuing the message, this new path is a path of peace that makes no sense to the world. It's the peace of Paul and Silas, who sang praises in prison. It's the peace of Daniel, who slept soundly in the lion's den. It's the peace of Jesus, who slept in the boat during the storm. This peace isn't a denial of the problem. It's a declaration of the sovereignty of my power over the problem. And this choice to seek my peace beyond your understanding is available to you every moment of every day. My dearest soul, to consistently make this choice, to stay in the lighthouse and not get pulled back into the boat, you need to break free from the anchors holding you in the sea of anxiety. The biggest of these anchors is unforgiveness. It keeps you chained to sunken ships from your past, stopping you from swimming to the safety of the rock. There's the anchor of resentment towards others. Every person who hurt you, who let you down, is a chain you drag. And the weight of that chain makes it almost impossible to rise to a place of peace. You can't look to your future with me if your eyes are fixed on past offenders. Forgiving is how you cut those chains. It's your declaration that your present peace matters more than your past pain. It's you handing me the wreckage and saying, Father, take care of this, I choose to be free. And then there's the anchor of self-condemnation, the heaviest of all, the guilt for your own mistakes, the shame for your shortcomings. This anchor keeps you submerged, telling you that you don't deserve the lighthouse's peace, that your place is at the bottom of the sea of guilt. My child, listen to my voice of redemption. If I, the judge of the entire universe, have already declared you innocent, who are you to keep yourself in prison? Your refusal to forgive yourself is an insult to the depth of my grace. Accept my forgiveness, receive my cleansing, and rise, light and free, to the surface of my acceptance. In the comments, list people, including yourself, you want to forgive. Picture each one, send them love, and say, I forgive you and set you free. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom forgiveness brings. Do this every day to strengthen your inner peace and let go of anxiety. By doing this, you're not just cleaning your heart, you're freeing yourself to make the choice. With the weight of anchors, choosing to ascend to the lighthouse is almost impossible. But with a light and free heart, it becomes the most natural choice in the world. Forgiveness isn't your reward for being good. It's your tool for freedom. and only the free can truly choose trust. My precious soul, what are the immediate effects of this choice in your life? The moment you start choosing my perspective instead of your own, something shifts. The first change is internal, and it's the most powerful of all. Silence. The constant noise in your mind, the chatter of worry, the debate of uncertainty, the static of anxiety starts to fade. In its place, a quiet calm settles in. It's God's shalom, the peace that surpasses all understanding, which begins to guard your heart and mind. External problems might stay the same, but your reaction to them is transformed. That phone call that used to cause you panic is now met with a curious calm. Okay, Father, what are we going to do about this? That criticism that once made you crumble is now received with the assurance of someone who knows their identity isn't based on others' opinions. This inner peace is the first and most glorious outcome of your choice. The second change is new clarity. Confusion comes from fear. When you're in the boat amidst the waves, you can't see the horizon. But from the top of the lighthouse, the view is expansive. By choosing my perspective, you start to see things as I do. You begin to understand the purpose behind the trial. You start to spot the opportunity hidden in the problem. Decisions that seemed so complicated become simple. You'll know which way to go, not because you've analyzed every variable, but because your heart will be at peace with a direction. My will for you isn't a puzzle, but peace. Follow the peace, and you'll be following me. The third change is renewed strength. Worry and anxiety are the biggest energy thieves out there. They leave you exhausted without you having moved a muscle. By choosing trust and peace, you shut off that drain of energy. And the strength that was once spent worrying is now available to love, to create, to serve, to live. You'll find you have more patience, more resilience, more vitality. Not because I gave you an extra dose of strength, but because you stopped wasting the strength I already give you every day. Peace, clarity, and strength. These aren't results for a distant future. They are the immediate benefits for today of your decision to choose my path. And they are just the beginning. My blessed soul. And what happens in the long run when you make this choice your new habit, your new way of life? Your entire life starts to realign with your new inner state. What begins as an internal shift inevitably leads to an external transformation. Your relationships are the first to change. Living from a place of peace and security in my love, you stop being a needy person, seeking from others what only I can provide. You become a source. You start loving others not for what they can give you, but from the fullness of what you already have in me. Your patience grows. Your ability to forgive broadens. Your presence becomes a haven for others. And like a magnet, you'll start attracting healthier relationships and pushing away toxic ones. Your provision begins to come in new and surprising ways. When you operate from trust, not fear of scarcity, you make wiser decisions. You become more generous, and generosity is the law of multiplication in my kingdom. And most importantly, you get out of the way so I can work my miracles of provision. While you worried and tried to control, my hands were tied by your lack of trust. But when you rest, I work. Doors of opportunity you never saw will open. Your purpose becomes crystal clear. The noise of worry and the search for validation kept you from hearing my deepest calling for your life. In the stillness of your new trust, you'll start to hear my gentle promptings about the gifts I've placed in you, about the mission I have for your life. And you'll have the courage to follow that direction, not out of obligation, but out of joy, knowing I've equipped you for everything I've called you to do. Share this video with 2 loved ones who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple, Lord, may our choice to trust you transform our world, is a seed that can change the life of anyone who reads it. The choice that starts today as a small act of inner faith will, over time, unfold into a life of fruitfulness, impact, and glory that will far exceed your wildest dreams. My precious soul, for this choice to become your new normal, it needs practice. It's like learning to ride a bike. At first, you'll need focus and intention. You'll fall, you'll wobble, but with practice, balance will become second nature, and you'll ride with a freedom and joy that once seemed impossible. I want to give you your daily training plan. First, the morning choice. Every morning, before anything else, make your choice. Say aloud, "Today, I choose to live in the lighthouse, not the boat. I choose to see my life through the eyes of faith, not fear. I hand the steering wheel of this day over to you, my Father." This is your act of dedication, setting your intention for the day. Second, the checkpoints throughout the day. Life will try to pull you back into the boat. Bad news, a difficult person, a moment of frustration. In these moments, you need a trigger to recall your choice. It might be a subtle alarm on your watch. It could be a small item in your pocket. When that trigger goes off, or when you feel anxiety creeping back, pause for 10 seconds. Take a deep breath and reset your choice. Father, I'm back in the boat. Help me climb back to the lighthouse. I choose your peace right now. This practice of resetting throughout the day is vital. Third, the gratitude journal at night. Before bed, instead of going over your worries, review the evidence of my faithfulness that day. Write down at least 3 things you're thankful for. 3 times you saw my hand, felt my peace, or managed to make the right choice. Gratitude strengthens new neural pathways of faith in your brain. It shows your soul that choosing trust works. Morning consecration, daytime resetting, and evening gratitude. This is the rhythm of your new life. Don't expect perfection. There will be days you spend more time in the boat than in the lighthouse. Don't condemn yourself. My grace is there to lift you up. Every moment offers a fresh chance to choose again. Your path isn't about never falling, but about getting back up quicker each time. My beloved soul, we've reached the end of our discussion and the start of your new path. The fork in the road is clear before you, the way of habit, exhaustion, and fear, and the way of choice, peace, and freedom. Together, we've seen the beauty and power of this new way. We've identified and removed the anchors of the past. You've glimpsed the inner and outer transformation this single choice can bring about, and you've received the practical tools to make this choice your new and wonderful habit. Your entire life has led you to this moment. Every joy, every sorrow, every lesson, it all prepared you to have the maturity and desire to make this choice now. For my part, I promise you, if you choose my way, I will walk with you every step. I will be your strength when you falter. I will be your light when the way seems dark. I will celebrate every one of your victories as if it were my own. And I will guide you, day after day, to a life more full, richer, and more meaningful than you ever dreamed possible. Your part, my child, is simply to choose and to keep choosing. Every morning, every challenging moment. It's a simple act, but it's the act that changes everything. Leave this conversation with a holy resolve in your spirit. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are my child, created in my image, and I have given you the power of choice. Use it. Use it to choose life, to choose peace, to choose me. The old road will always be there, inviting you back to its exhausting familiarity. But starting today, you know there's another way, a higher way, a better way. Your way. The choice is yours. A new life awaits. If this message resonated with you and your situation, type, "I choose the path of faith and trust in God" in the comments. Share your experiences in the comments about how this message inspired you to make a new choice in your life today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more faith-based content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.